Alright guys and girls, got this lovely Skoda in today. Now I had never even heard of one of these until the customer came in last week and booked it in. It is called a Karoq, Skoda Karoq. It's basically in for G Technique. That's a ceramic coating. So there's a lot of sort of myths and stuff about ceramic coatings around, and people telling you it's like you need to be a wizard to be able to apply it and things like that. It's actually really easy to apply. However, there is some steps that you need to follow, and there is some sort of basic sort of things that you need to do regarding preparation and stuff like that, but none of it is actually hard. So anyway, we're going to go on with this, just a sort of bit of a quick video, because it's a brand new car, so there's not really much needs to be done in regards to prep. But there is the odd little mark here and there on it. Nothing that will actually show up in camera though, annoyingly. But considering that this is a Skoda, and I get Volkswagens and Audis and stuff in, and the paintwork is absolutely shocking on them. The paintwork on this Skoda is absolutely fantastic. I mean, even I know it's a brand new car, but even brand new cars come in here sometimes, and the paintwork, it's got marks here and there on it, and it's ridiculous some of the stuff that you get on new cars. But this one is really, really good. There's a wee bit of clouding just on one of the doors, and as I say, I struggled to get it. I'm trying to. No, I can't get it. But just around here, there's a little bit of clouding. I think it's actually just where they've removed the sort of protection film from the paint at the dealership. So we'll give that a little machine polish and go around it and check for sort of any other little defects. We'll fix that and then we'll apply the product. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of these wee sort of defects. There's one on this door, and there's another one on the other side, and there's a little one on the boot lid as well. It's literally, I think it's just where they've sort of been taking the protective plastic off, and they've maybe just sort of caught it with a fingernail or whatever. This one's the worst, but even then it's not too bad. As you can see, I'm just prepping the pad by sort of putting 3 or 4 dots on it and then rubbing it in, and then apply another few dots just to sort of put a usable amount of polish onto the pad, and then just polish away the marks. They weren't deep at all, they were pretty easy to remove. I'm in fast forward here. I wish I could work at this speed, it would be great. Worth mentioning that I'm only really getting away with just sort of doing the odd bit because this is a brand new car, and it's like I previously said, the paintwork is very good on it. On a used car, even 6 months old, a year old, a month old, you're going to have had swirl marks on it relating to sort of washing and just daily use really. So you're going to, on a used car, you're going to require a minimum of a single stage correction all over to bring it up to spec before you put the ceramic on. You could put the ceramic on without the correction, but it's kind of like, it's pointless. You're putting the ceramic on to get a really good finish, and basically if you're putting it onto paint that's below par to start with, you're just sort of locking that in really. Definitely bring the paint up to as good a condition as possible. If you've not got a machine polisher at home, you can do it by hand. I mean, it'll take you a lot longer and you won't get as good a finish, but it's definitely doable by hand on a new car, especially if you've just got isolated areas. If you're doing a used car, then you need to invest in a polisher really. They're not that expensive, and if you buy a DA, they're not actually that hard to use. Bit of practice and you're away. So once you've got your paint in the best condition you can really, it's time to apply the ceramic. But before you can apply the ceramic, you need to make sure that the paintwork is free from any dark grease, dust, anything like that. Anything that can come between the ceramic coating and the paintwork basically. Now we do that with panel wipe. So as you can see, I've sprayed it onto one cloth and I'm wiping away with the other. It's actually referred to as floating away for some reason. I think that's an old body shop term. So you basically you apply the panel wipe with one cloth, which then brings the oil and the grease up to the surface, and you float it away with the other cloth. Easily enough done. You just make sure that you get into all the little edges and things like that, like the backs of wing mirrors and round the sides of the wheel arches, the backs of the door handles, all areas like that you cannot. It's easy to overlook. You need to make sure you get into these areas. Just remember to change your cloths halfway through, because although the solvent will evaporate on the cloth, the dirt and the grease that you've picked up will stay on the cloth. So you need to change them so you're not just wiping the grease from one side into the other side. So here's something that I do if I've got two cloths the same colour. I mark one just on the edge with a permanent marker, just a little dot or two, and it lets me know which cloth is which, because you're going to use one cloth for spreading the ceramic around and another cloth for removing the excess ceramic that's left over. So you don't want to get them mixed up, or else you'll just be applying more ceramic when you're actually trying to take off the excess. So that's why I always mark them. Sometimes I've got different coloured cloths, but I've only got a load of these yellow ones at the moment, and you need new cloths. When you do this, you want to use new cloths. So the new cloths I've got a bag of yellow ones there. So that's why I'm doing that, just to differentiate. So the G-Technique system, they send these sort of little makeup pads to apply the product with. Some ceramic systems come with makeup pads, some come with sort of little foam applicators. Doesn't sort of seem to matter which comes with which. I tend to like the little makeup pads, to be honest with you, rather than the sort of foam applicators, just because they're easier to get into the backs of handles and things like that. As you can see here, I've applied like 4 dots onto the pad and it spreads for miles, this stuff. You want to do one panel at a time, spreading it in, and trying to cover as much as you possibly can. It doesn't matter if you miss the odd little bit here and there, because you will be spreading it around again with one of the cloths anyway. But as you can see, if you just sort of try and do a section at a time and then move on to the next section, just sort of do it methodically and you'll be fine. I tend to go left, right, up, down sort of thing, motion. So once you've applied it, the next part is to use your first cloth. I'm using the one without the dot on it this time, and you're just spreading the product around. Now you can use this so if you've got any badges and stuff like that, this is the ideal time to go over the badges, because the excess will go onto the cloth and you can sort of spread it around and make use of the excess really. You can just see it's left a sort of residue on the paint. It's taken some off, but just left that kind of smeariness, you can see it, but it's just spread around. If you get any on any lights or windows or anything like that, also you need to get it off before it sets, because trust me, once this stuff sets, it's a bit of bitch to get off. So this is my other cloth now, and I'm just wiping away anything that's left, and you'll see the shine coming up. It's like glass. Absolutely fantastic stuff, this. And as it dries, it gets even glossier. It's amazing, actually. It's really, really good. This customer, actually, this is the 4th car I've applied G-Technique to. I've been doing these cars for probably 10 or 12 years, and he changes them every 3 years. So this is the 4th car, and it always comes back every 6 months to get it topped up with C2, and then back every 3 years with his new car. It's just and it's after 3 years, it's still working strong. It's really good.
Also worth noting is that when you're doing a panel such as a bonnet or the top of a roof, you need to do it wet to wet, which means once you've done one side you need to go straight away and do the other side. Simply because if you do one half and then leave it until you're doing the other side of the car, one half of the bonnet will have already begun to set. So that's why you go wet to wet, so that you're not trying to put new wet product onto another product that's maybe already half set. So as you wipe the product off, you want to look from all different angles, because you'll get little bits sort of hiding in the shadows that you don't see. So you need to really get up, down, get your head down and sort of look up and across and try and look at it from every angle basically, because you need to get all the smears and anything off. You don't want anything left over on the paint, any excess whatsoever. And once you've done the outside, you go in and you do like your door edges and all your little hidden areas that you don't obviously always see, but they need done just the same.
So that's the ceramic all applied, the C1. Now it's just a case of leaving it overnight, and then when we come in the morning we can apply the C2, which is like a topper, which basically the ceramic coat in the C1 is what gives it the hard protection, and the C2 is sort of what gives it sort of extra hydrophobic qualities, basically propels the water. So the ceramic coat in the C1 sheets water very well on its own actually, but the C2 just gives it that little bit extra, and it acts as a barrier for the C1 as well. So basically the C1's protecting your paint and the C2 is protecting the C1 to help it protect your paint for longer. So anyway, back at it in the morning.
So day 2 and we're back at it. The C1 has been on the car curing overnight and it's now lovely and hard and glossy. So what we're going to do now is apply the C2. Now this is basically like a sealant that goes on over the C1, and you can look at it as a sort of sacrificial layer. It'll give up its life to protect the C1. How noble is that? Anyway, it's really good stuff and it complements the C1 miraculously. It is a really good pairing. If you're going to use a lot of these ceramic coatings, you get the ceramic and that's it. You don't get anything to go with it. You can actually buy this. I buy this as a kit from G Technique, and it comes with the C1 and the C2 in the same bag. It's not that expensive either. It's about, I think it's about £50 or something like that for both of them. Which, when you consider that it will last between 3 and 5 years, it's pretty good value. Always remember to do in your boot areas and in behind your petrol cap and places like that as well. Worth noting, this car also got the interior protection package and the wheel protection package, but those are for different videos, I'm afraid. You'll have to wait for those ones. Finally, but quite important really, is the little sticker that goes in the window. This lets anyone else that might be working on the car know that it is ceramic coated and they shouldn't use any abrasive polishes or waxes on it when they're cleaning it.
So that's it all finished, and as you can see it is looking glossy as anything really. Also it'll last, realistically it'll last 2 to 3 years. The manufacturers, ceramic coating manufacturers, tend to say anything between sort of 3 and 5 years, generally speaking. But on a car that's used day to day, realistically I think if you renew it every 3 years, it's a wise move. So whilst we're on the subject, actually, another wee question for my video, this time relating to the channel though. Would you like to see more videos like this? More sort of how-to videos? If so, let me know in the comment, and if there's enough of you want to do it, I'll start doing little how-to videos more often. I do the odd one here and there, but I'll start sort of doing more of them if you like. Catch you later, guys and girls. Thanks for watching. Bye.